This is Juju Mufu at the NPC North American Championships competing as a super heavyweight. A lot of people were very critical in the comments of this post of how Juju was looking, especially compared to how he looked the last time that we saw him on stage. Chest looked really off to me, and I don't know if he injured it, if he had like a minor pec tear or something, but the definition just wasn't, it just looked weird in his chest. It looked very watery. It looked very kind of blurry. And then the second thing that I noticed, and I saw a lot of comments about this as well, was the legs. And you can see the outer sweep of his quads looks really kind of swollen. And again, kind of that blurry look compared to the inner sweep. Overall, his conditioning was a little bit off compared to how we've seen him before. I don't think this was a peaked version of Juju Mufu. I would say this was an off version of him. And I think that we're probably going to see a statement from him in a YouTube video explaining why he looked the way he looked.
I got it. Okay, hey guys, I wanted to make a video about my bodybuilding competition. This is my second competition I've ever done, and I bombed. I made a big mistake. About an hour before stepping on stage, I drank an entire bottle of dish soap, like a 32-ounce bottle. I know, it's a dumb mistake. A lot of people try that tactic, and it's very risky. It washed out my physique. I had a washed out physique, but hey, I wasn't the guy that stuffed an entire bag of M&Ms up his butt before going on stage. That did not work out well. Didn't work out well for him. You know what, guys? Look, I placed third in the Masters 35 plus Open Super Heavies, super heavyweight division. So this is a national level show, and I've been training bodybuilding for about 3 years now with actual exercises. I haven't even done a leg extension or a leg curl in my life until about 3 years ago. But you know, I want to do the competitions because I want to experience what these athletes have to go through. I want to be able to empathize with them and understand them, and I want to push my physique to the highest level it can. So genetic potential aside, you should never, use genetics as an excuse for not doing anything. If you want to do something because you like it, then you should do it. I love bodybuilding. I love the process of it. I love the checklist lifestyle. I love the brutality of it. It is a brutal, brutal sport. And I like experiencing the crossover between the different sports. I work with the best arm wrestlers. I've worked with some of the best rock climbers. I've taken tricking to the extreme. That was my main passion growing up before I got too heavy and too old to have any more peaks in that. So I'm mostly retired in that, minus a few acrobatic moves. In powerlifting, I've done some competitions. I like to experience what these guys have to go through, because until you actually go through a full prep like a bodybuilder, or a full prep like a powerlifter, or just go to these competitions and experience what these athletes have to go through to do what they do. I feel like when I've gone through these bodybuilding preps, I can understand them better. I can see why they walk the way they walk, why their eyes look the way they do, why they don't do certain things. It's really interesting to me to see and experience what they have to go through. So, and it makes me, I think it makes me feel better about, myself, and it makes me feel more connected with people. So I just wanted to push my physique as far as it possibly could, because it's fun. So I feel like when you're prepping for a show, the last final weeks dialing in for the stage is not just something that you just do. It's not just something that you figure out how to do once and you just do it again. Your body's constantly changing. And I feel like it's more like a game of chess, because you can do the exact same thing you did last year and you can get a completely different result, good or bad. It can work out that way. So I feel like it's more of a game of chess, and you're pivoting and trying to figure out what the next move. And when you get down to that last week, it is a very, very difficult game of chess. And I still really don't know what happened. I think I look good. Honestly, I love the way I look. I have a more powerful physique than I did last year. I have more muscle. I was able to add more muscle to my legs. I'm stronger, but this prep was a lot harder. This was the hardest thing I've ever done physically. Maybe the results don't show for it, but good God, it was so hard for me, and it took a toll on me, and it took a lot of my life away from me. For 4 to 6 weeks near the end there, I didn't have the energy. I I just felt bad. Then maybe I needed more food, and after a while, I just felt like I was starving. I couldn't sleep anymore. And I think my physique on stage might have shown some flattening. That wasn't spilling over, that was flattening out. Another thing that could have happened is I didn't really back off on my leg training soon enough. I think my legs could have been inflamed. I saw this during the prep. There's some check-ins, my legs would look a little puffier. If you guys have ever done a leg workout and they look bigger, but then there's no definition on them, that's why you don't get a leg pump backstage. But still, if you do a leg workout too hard close to competition, it can smooth out some of the details. I think that could have been part of it, perhaps. Something maybe you guys can relate to. And hey, hindsight's 20/20, you know what I mean? I'm still learning my body. You're always learning something new. And that was one of the best experiences about this. I learned something about my body. And that's great. Learning is good. And I couldn't have learned this unless I pushed myself to this extreme. The other thing is that I was so exhausted on stage, guys. A lot of people commented that I might have had an injury because I stumbled or that I did some synthol. I've never done synthol. I don't know anything about it. I'm not interested in learning anything about it. It wouldn't be good for athletics. I just don't really care about that. I don't want to do that part of things. So that had nothing to do with it. The chest, I actually don't know why it looked kind of washed out. But it was kind of even here. My legs, I had a hard time getting the sweep on the outside. It could have been an allergic reaction. It could have been flattening. I actually don't really know what happened. People can speculate and accuse, but you know what? I tried my best, and maybe it didn't look good to other people, but I think my physique from a lot of angles, there's a lot of improvements, and I'm happy with it. But yeah, I got tired. This was the most tired I've ever been in my life. So I was stumbling on stage because I was tired. I was exhausted. This is the hardest thing I've ever done physically. And like I said, the results probably don't show for that for a lot of people, but I really, really tried hard. And I'm proud of myself for that. And I'm thankful that I have friends that have supported me during this process, because this is a team sport. It's taken a toll on them too, especially Sam. She's a trooper, so I'm very thankful for her. And my coaches, Dorian and Phil Viz, came in, and he really helped guide me, lower my anxiety, and he started managing things, and he started helping me improve things when things just didn't work out well. And it was, we're just playing the best game we can, and that's what happened. So a lot of people on the internet are, attacking me and discouraging me and being mean. And, I have feelings. I'm human. It hurts. But you know what? It's okay, because I agree with a lot of them. My physique wasn't the best it could be, but I tried. I got up on stage and I had a good time. I had fun. So it's not always about winning. It's not always about becoming pro. It's not always about, are you going to be the best in the world? Are you going to be able to compete in the pro circuit? You know what? It's just, I like it. I like doing it. And, so what? Maybe there's some digression from last year in some aspects, but I think there's a lot of improvements in others. And I'm going to bodybuild some more. I already made my plans on what I wanted to do before I had this competition. Last year, I told people that I was not going to decide what my plans were until after the competition. And so after that competition, my first competition, the Olympia Amateur 2021, after that competition, I decided to do another one. Before I did this competition, I had decided that I would like to try some new things again, and I would like to do something. I'm trying to think of a name for it. I'm going to call it crock-pot bodybuilding, where I kind of put it on the back burner. And I could do some slow growing until I reach my 40s. I'm almost 37, so, I'm not a spring chicken or anything. But, I started bodybuilding a little later, but I love it. I love it. I love the sport. I love having experienced it in the way the athletes have to experience it. I'm going to continue to do so. I don't have a competition in mind, but we'll see what happens. But ultimately, I learned a lot. I had a lot of fun. I have great friends and family, and I love the way my body looks. I think it's a cool looking physique. It's cool, it's functional, it can do a lot of things. I mean, maybe it's not pro bodybuilder material right now. Maybe it never will be, but that's okay. That's fucking okay, dude. Like, I have a better physique than 99.9999% of humanity. That's something to be grateful for, and I am grateful for that. Bodybuilding is a very resource, time-intensive sport. It's a luxury to be able to do it. It's a privilege to be able to have to have your life to have a life that where you can devote yourself to something like that. So I'm just grateful. But I appreciate all you guys who are nice, who supported me in this. And I have goals. I have new things I want to do. I have new plans. Of course, I plan ahead. I plan very far ahead. But, I don't like to disclose things all the time on what I want to do. But I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm excited about new things. And I think you guys will like what I have coming up too. So that's really all I have to say. And yeah, I'm going to continue to do what I do because I'm a human and that's what humans do. We continue to do what we do. But I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate everyone that's nice to me. And yeah, so that's the end of the video. I'm just thankful. I'm happy. And now I'm going to go hang out with Sam.